You feel it, don't you? That subtle dimming of the switch, a slow, almost imperceptible fading of the light you once lived by. The energy you used to take for granted, the kind that powered you through long days at work and still left enough in the tank for your family, your passions, your life. That energy is now a daily negotiation. It's a resource you have to bargain for, to conserve, to manage with a careful, almost weary precision. But what if this isn't your new normal? What if this creeping exhaustion isn't an inevitable sentence? What if the key to reigniting that internal fire is far simpler and more accessible than you've been led to believe? This isn't about waging a futile war against age. It's about learning to fuel it intelligently, with respect for the journey you've traveled. Stick with me through this, because what I have to share is more than just a list of things to buy. I want you to truly understand the why behind the what. And at the very end, I'm not just going to give you a shopping list of vitamins. I'm going to share the single most important action step you can possibly take. The one strategic move that separates those who waste their money and time from those who make a truly profound and lasting investment in their future health. You absolutely need to hear this before you even think about buying a single bottle, because it's the master key that unlocks everything else. Let's have an honest conversation man to man. Getting older is a privilege, a profound gift that many are denied. It comes with a hard-won wisdom, with a library of experience, with a perspective on life that you simply can't purchase or rush into. It is a season of its own merit, but it also comes with undeniable changes. Physical changes. It's not a failing, it's not a weakness, and it's certainly nothing to be ashamed of. It is a simple biological fact of a life well lived, and one of the most profound shifts happens deep within, on a cellular level, in a place you can't see but you can absolutely feel every single day. It's what I call the aging gap, the growing, often silent distance between what your body critically needs to thrive and what it's actually getting. This gap widens even when you're feeding it a diet you believe is perfectly healthy. You might be doing everything you've been told is right. You eat your salads, you choose the lean protein, you diligently avoid the junk food. You're following the very rules of health that have served you well for decades. But here's the tough, essential truth. The rules of the game have fundamentally changed. Your body at 60, 65, 70 and beyond is playing on an entirely different field than it was at 40. The machinery itself has been updated, and not always for the better in terms of efficiency. Specifically, your body's innate ability to absorb and truly utilize key nutrients from the food you eat begins to decline. This isn't a theory, it's a well-documented physiological process. Stomach acid levels, which are crucial for breaking down food, can decrease. This affects how minerals and vitamins like B12 are cleaved from their protein bonds and made available. The overall efficiency of your digestive tract, the very engine of nutrient assimilation, isn't what it once was. It's a natural, expected part of the aging process. So you're putting in the good premium fuel, but your engine has become less efficient at converting that fuel into raw horsepower. The direct result, that pervasive, deep-seated fatigue that isn't just about being tired after a long day of work. It's a weariness that settles into your bones, a heaviness that greets you in the morning and clings to you throughout the day. It's that frustrating brain fog that makes finding the right word feel like a monumental chore, or remembering a name feel like searching a corrupted file. It's the distinct feeling that your get up and go got up and went, leaving you behind. You're left in a state of confusion, wondering why you feel a step behind, why the tank feels half empty even after what should have been a full night's rest. This feeling is not in your head. It is not a sign of mental weakness. It's a real physical and biochemical phenomenon. It's your body signaling that the old way of doing things is no longer sufficient. The old supply lines are no longer meeting the new demand. And this is the critical juncture where so many men get it wrong, heading down one of two equally unhelpful paths. They either resign themselves to this diminished state, accepting it as an inevitable and non-negotiable part of aging, or they start throwing everything at the wall to see what sticks. A multivitamin here, a random supplement touted on the internet there, without any real strategy or understanding. Both paths lead to the exact same destination: frustration and disappointment. Resignation leads to a slow, grinding decline in your quality of life. The random approach leads to a drained wallet and potentially more harm than good. Understanding this aging gap is the first, most crucial step toward reclaiming your vitality. It's not about blaming yourself for past choices. It's about empowering yourself with the right knowledge for the future. Your body isn't failing you. It is simply sending you a new set of signals, communicating its new requirements. The task now is to learn this new language so you can respond effectively. The foundation of your vitality in this new chapter of life cannot be built on the same blueprint you used in your 30s or 40s. We need to reinforce the structure to be more deliberate, more targeted, and infinitely more intelligent about what we're providing our bodies. It's no longer about eating more, it's about absorbing more of what truly matters. We have to consciously and strategically bridge that gap between nutrient intake and cellular absorption. Because on the other side of that gap isn't just the absence of fatigue, it's the powerful presence of genuine, sustained vitality. It's the energy to not just get through the day, but to attack it with purpose, enthusiasm, and joy. It's the mental clarity to engage deeply, to learn new things, to contribute your wisdom to the world around you. That is what's at stake here. And the wonderfully good news is, it's entirely within your reach to achieve. This isn't about some miracle cure or a magic pill that promises to reverse time. I don't believe in that kind of snake oil, and you shouldn't either. This is about working intelligently with your body, not fighting against it. It's about respecting the profound changes that come with a long life lived and providing the specific, high-impact support it now requires to function at its best. Think of it like maintaining a beautiful classic car. You wouldn't put the same cheap, generic oil in a vintage, high-performance automobile that you'd put in a brand new sedan off the lot. You'd use a specific, high-quality formulation designed to protect its aging, priceless engine and keep it running smoothly and powerfully for years to come. Your body, which has carried you this far, deserves that same level of specialized care and profound respect. It has more than earned it. The journey begins with the humble acknowledgement that your past efforts, while commendable, may no longer be sufficient for the task at hand. The world of nutrition isn't static, and neither is your physiology. The science has evolved dramatically, and our understanding of the aging process is deeper and more nuanced than ever before. We now know, with absolute certainty, that specific micronutrient deficiencies are incredibly common in men over 60, and they are directly and causally linked to the most common complaints of aging: low energy, poor sleep, a weakened immune system, and cognitive decline. This isn't speculation, it's established peer-reviewed science. So, let's leave behind the guesswork, the resignation, and the frustration. Let's step into a place of knowledge, empowerment, and strategic action. Let's talk about the first foundational pillar you need to put in place. When you hear vitamin D, what's the first thing that comes to mind? For most people, it's strong bones. And that's absolutely true. It's non-negotiable for calcium absorption, and without it, our skeletal structure would be in serious, long-term trouble. But framing vitamin D as just a bone vitamin is like calling a modern smartphone just a telephone. You're missing 90% of its incredible system-wide functionality. In this chapter of your life, I want you to start thinking of vitamin D not just as a building block for your bones, but as your personal sunshine shield. It is a primary defender of your entire system, a guardian of your mood, and a promoter of your physical resilience. Let's be crystal clear. This isn't just a vitamin, it's technically a prohormone. This means it has the power to interact with receptors located in virtually every single cell and tissue in your body, from the neurons in your brain to the B cells and T cells of your immune system. When your levels are optimal, it's like having a well-trained, highly disciplined, and incredibly intelligent security force patrolling your entire system 24/7. This force does a few critically important things for a man over 60. First, and perhaps most importantly, it modulates your immune system. This concept of modulation is so important to grasp. An underactive immune system leaves you vulnerable and exposed to every bug that goes around. turning a common cold into a week-long ordeal. But an overactive immune system is just as dangerous. It can lead to chronic systemic inflammation and autoimmune issues where your body mistakenly attacks its own healthy tissues. Vitamin D acts as the wise general, keeping your immune response perfectly balanced, effective, and smart. It helps your body fight off invading pathogens more efficiently while also telling it when to stand down, preventing it from causing friendly fire damage. This function directly combats that feeling of fragility that can creep in as we get older, that nagging worry that a simple sickness could knock you out for weeks and derail your life. With a robust sunshine shield in place, you regain a deep-seated confidence in your body's ability to defend itself and bounce back quickly. But the shield does much more than just protect you from germs. It profoundly protects your mood. There's a very good reason it's nicknamed the sunshine vitamin. It plays a profound and direct role in cultivating a stable, positive mindset. Vitamin D receptors are highly concentrated in the very areas of the brain that are responsible for regulating mood and behavior. It's no coincidence that low levels are consistently and strongly linked in scientific literature with feelings of depression, apathy, a general sense of the blas, and a lack of motivation. That gray-colored, pessimistic view of the world, that feeling that you've lost your spark, it might not just be a reaction to life's circumstances. It could be a genuine physical deficiency that is literally dimming your internal light and casting a shadow over your daily experience. So why is this such a prevalent and major issue specifically for men over 60? The problem is a perfect storm of biology and lifestyle. First, our primary and most potent source of vitamin D is direct sun exposure. Our skin is designed to synthesize it when exposed to UVB rays. But as we age, our skin becomes significantly less efficient at this miraculous process. Some studies suggest a staggering 75% reduction in its ability to produce vitamin D compared to a younger person's skin. On top of that, our lifestyle often changes. We may spend more time indoors, we rightly wear sunscreen to prevent skin cancer, but that same sunscreen also blocks the UVB rays necessary for vitamin D production. The consequences of deficiency go even further, right down to your physical strength and stability. Vitamin D is absolutely essential for proper muscle function. It helps your body maintain both muscle mass and strength, a process that is under constant threat from the natural process of age-related muscle loss, known as sarcopenia. When you have adequate vitamin D, your muscles are more responsive, stronger, and far less prone to weakness and fatigue. This translates directly to better balance, a much lower risk of dangerous falls, and the simple, empowering ability to get up out of a low chair with ease or carry the groceries in from the car without a second thought. It's about maintaining your physical autonomy and the quiet confidence that comes with it. So you see, this is not just about bones. It is about the sophistication of your immune defense, the brightness of your mental outlook, and the foundation of your physical power. It's a foundational element for a life filled with vigor and resilience. When this shield is weak, you feel it everywhere. You feel vulnerable to illness, you feel emotionally low, and you feel physically unsteady. It's all too easy to mistake these feelings as just getting old. But in so many cases, it's a direct, measurable, and entirely correctable deficiency. It's a chink in your armor that leaves your entire sense of well-being exposed and vulnerable. Replenishing your vitamin D is like meticulously reinforcing that shield. It's like turning the lights back on in the rooms of your brain that govern mood and motivation. It's sending a clear signal to your immune system to be both smart and strong. It's about providing your muscles with a key ingredient they need to keep you moving with confidence and power. This isn't a minor tweak. For many men, correcting a long-standing vitamin D deficiency is one of the most transformative and noticeable steps they can take. It's the difference between feeling like you're weathering life's storms and feeling like you are capable of commanding the weather. It's a fundamental part of reclaiming your sense of resilience, both inside and out. It's not just a supplement, it's a core strategy for strength. The science on this is overwhelming and continues to grow with each passing year. We're now seeing powerful links between optimal vitamin D levels and reduced risk for a whole host of chronic illnesses. It's a key player in cardiovascular health, in insulin regulation, and so much more. But for our purposes today, let's focus on the immediate, tangible benefits you can feel: a stronger immune system that you can truly count on, a more stable and positive mood that allows you to genuinely enjoy your life, and the physical strength to stay active and engaged with the world on your own terms. That is the incredible power of the Sunshine Shield. It's your first line of defense, and making sure it's fully charged is absolutely non-negotiable. Now let's talk about the fuel itself. If vitamin D is your shield, then our next vitamin is the high-performance spark plug for your engine. I'm talking about vitamin B12. There is perhaps no single nutrient more directly and immediately tied to your day-to-day energy levels, both mental and physical. And much like vitamin D, it is one of the most common deficiencies found in the over 60 population for reasons that are critically important for you to understand. A lack of B12 isn't just about feeling a little bit tired. It's a profound cellular level energy crisis that affects every system in your body. Here's how it works in your body. Vitamin B12 is absolutely essential for two overwhelmingly important processes. The first is the formation of healthy red blood cells. I want you to think of your red blood cells as the vast fleet of delivery trucks that service your entire body. Their primary job is to pick up precious oxygen from your lungs and transport it to every single cell, from the neurons in your brain to the muscle fibers in your toes. Without an adequate and constant supply of oxygen, your cells simply cannot produce energy efficiently. They are quite literally suffocating in slow motion. Abitsa. Deficiency leads to a condition where the bone marrow produces red blood cells that are large, misshapen, and functionally useless. They can't carry oxygen properly. The inevitable result of this systemic oxygen debt is a deep, unshakable fatigue. It's the kind of tired that sleep doesn't fix. It's a pervasive weakness, a constant state of lethargy, and a shortness of breath from simple exertion because your entire body is running on an empty tank of its most essential fuel, oxygen. The second critical role of vitamin B12 is in nerve function and maintenance. Your nervous system is like the intricate electrical wiring of your house. Every single nerve is coated in a protective, insulating layer called the myelin sheath. You can think of this like the rubber or plastic insulation that coats a copper wire. It ensures that the electrical signals sent from your brain travel quickly, cleanly, and efficiently to their intended destination. Vitamin B12 is a crucial component in building and maintaining the health of that myelin sheath. When B12 levels are low for a prolonged period, that insulation starts to fray and break down. The signal gets fuzzy, it short circuits, and the messages get corrupted. What does that feel like in the real world? It feels like that persistent and maddening cognitive fog. It's the sheer frustration of having a word on the tip of your tongue, but being utterly unable to grasp it. It manifests as short-term memory lapses, a frustrating difficulty in concentrating, and a general feeling of mental slowness. In more severe long-term cases, it can even lead to frightening physical symptoms like tingling, numbness, or a pins and needles sensation in your hands and feet, or even problems with balance and coordination as the signals to your limbs become scrambled. Many men mistake these neurological symptoms for the early signs of more serious cognitive decline like Alzheimer's or dementia, and the fear and anxiety that this creates is immense and heartbreaking. But very often, it can be a direct, reversible result of a B12 deficiency that is starving the brain of oxygen and actively compromising its fundamental wiring. So why does this deficiency happen so frequently as we get older? The issue isn't usually your dietary intake. B12 is abundantly found in animal products like meat, fish, eggs, and dairy. The problem lies with absorption. To absorb B12 from your food, your stomach needs to produce enough hydrochloric acid to separate the vitamin from the protein it's bound to. Then, your stomach lining needs to produce a special protein called intrinsic factor, which acts like a key, unlocking the door for B12 to be carried into your bloodstream. As we age, stomach acid production naturally tends to decline. Furthermore, the very common use of medications like acid blockers, for heartburn or GERD, or certain diabetes drugs like metformin can dramatically interfere with this delicate process. This is a crucial point to internalize. You can be eating a perfectly healthy diet, rich in B12, and still become severely deficient. The issue isn't the fuel you're putting in. It's the age-related decline in the machinery responsible for processing that fuel. When the spark plug is fouled, the engine sputters and struggles. When your cells are starved for oxygen and your nerves are misfiring, you cannot and will not feel your best. It is a biological impossibility. You feel old because on a microscopic cellular level, your body is struggling to perform its most basic and vital functions. Igniting your energy then means directly addressing this B12 absorption issue. It means finding a way to bypass the faulty absorption mechanism in the stomach. This is precisely why B12 supplementation is so incredibly effective, particularly in forms like sublingual, under the tongue, tablets, sprays, or even injections, which deliver the vitamin directly into the bloodstream, bypassing the digestive system entirely. It's like a direct infusion of pure energy for your cells. When you restore your B12 levels to an optimal range, you are giving your body the raw material it needs to build healthy, efficient, oxygen-rich blood cells. You are literally refueling every part of your being. The change can be nothing short of remarkable. The fog begins to lift, the mental clarity returns, words come more easily and thoughts flow more freely. The oppressive physical fatigue recedes, replaced by a steady, reliable current of energy that lasts throughout the day. This isn't the jittery, artificial buzz of caffeine. It's a true foundational cellular energy. It's the profound feeling of your body working correctly again. It's the confidence of a sharp mind and a body that has the stamina to do what you want it to do. Restoring your B12 levels isn't just about feeling less tired. It's about feeling fully, vibrantly, and powerfully alive again. It's about turning that sputtering engine into one that purrs with quiet, consistent power. We've fortified the shield with vitamin D and ignited the spark with vitamin B12. Now, we need to talk about the engine itself, the core machinery that drives your daily performance, recovery, and resilience. This is where the mineral magnesium comes in. If you think of B12 as the spark plug, think of magnesium as the high-octane oil and essential coolant that allows the entire engine to run smoothly, powerfully, and without overheating. It is, without a shadow of a doubt, one of the most underrated and crucial minerals for human health, and for men over 60, it is the master mineral for all-around performance. Why do I call it the performance engine? Because magnesium is a required cofactor in over 300 essential biochemical reactions in your body. Let that number sink in for a moment. 300. That's not an exaggeration. Every single time your heart beats, every time you contract a muscle, whether lifting a weight or simply smiling, every time your brain sends a signal, magnesium is in the background, making it happen correctly. It is fundamental to energy production at the cellular level, ATP, to muscle and nerve function, to blood sugar control, to protein synthesis, and to maintaining a healthy blood pressure and heart rhythm. When you are deficient in magnesium, and estimates suggest that a huge portion of the population is, your entire system is running with the parking brake partially engaged. Let's focus on 3 key areas of performance that are paramount for men over 60. First, muscle function and recovery. Magnesium is a natural physiological muscle relaxant. It works in a beautiful, dynamic partnership with calcium. In simple terms, calcium helps your muscles contract and magnesium helps them relax. When you have enough magnesium, this process of contraction and relaxation is smooth, seamless, and efficient. You can exercise, do yard work, or play with your grandkids, and your muscles work as they should. When you're deficient, you don't have enough of the relaxed signal. Your muscles can stay in a state of partial contraction, leading to those frustrating cramps, spasms, twitches, tightness, and that general feeling of achiness and stiffness that you might just blame on age. It directly impacts your ability to be physically active and, just as importantly, to recover properly afterward. Second, and this is a massive one for quality of life, sleep. How many nights have you laid in bed, body tired but mind racing, completely unable to switch off. Or you manage to fall asleep only to wake up at 2 or 3 a.m. wide awake and staring at the ceiling. Magnesium is nature's tranquilizer. It plays a central role in calming your entire central nervous system. It helps regulate key neurotransmitters like GABA, which is the brain's primary brake pedal, promoting a sense of calm and relaxation. It quiets the noise and static in your brain. A lack of magnesium can lead to a state of chronic nervous system excitability, making it incredibly difficult to achieve the deep, restorative stages of sleep your body and brain so desperately need for repair and memory consolidation. And we all know that a poor night's sleep absolutely destroys your performance the next day. It kills your energy, your mood, and your focus. By ensuring adequate magnesium levels, you are giving your body the fundamental tool it needs to power down, repair, and recharge fully each night. Waking up feeling genuinely rested is a performance enhancer like no other. Third, cardiovascular health. This is simply non-negotiable. Magnesium is an absolute powerhouse for your heart and entire circulatory system. It helps maintain a steady, regular heartbeat by regulating the electrical impulses of the heart muscle. It helps relax the smooth muscle walls of your blood vessels, which is critical for maintaining a healthy, flexible vascular system and normal blood pressure. It also plays a key role in preventing the dangerous calcification of arteries. Think about that for a moment. It helps keep your arteries soft, pliable, and flexible. Given that heart health is one of the primary health concerns for men in this age group, ensuring your magnesium status is optimal is one of the most profoundly protective and proactive things you can possibly do. It is the mineral that keeps your entire cardiovascular system running smoothly and under less stress. The problem, once again, is a modern one, and it is twofold. Aggressive modern farming practices have severely depleted the magnesium content in our soil, which means the vegetables we eat are far less rich in this vital mineral than they were for our grandparents. Additionally, aspects of modern life like chronic stress, regular alcohol consumption, and certain common medications, like diuretics, can rapidly deplete your body's precious magnesium stores. So even with a good diet, it's incredibly easy to become deficient. And the signs are so common that we often just write them off as normal parts of aging. Muscle cramps, poor sleep, anxiety, irritability, high blood pressure. These aren't just random symptoms. They are loud and clear signals from your engine that it's running critically low on an essential fluid. Replenishing your magnesium is like giving your body a total system tune-up. It allows your muscles to function with power and recover without pain. It allows your nervous system to calm down, giving you access to the holy grail of deep restorative sleep. And it provides essential support for the most important muscle you have, your heart. It's the mineral that underpins your ability to perform day in and day out. It's not about giving you a frantic burst of energy. It's about creating a state of calm, powerful readiness. It is the foundation upon which all other aspects of your health are built. It is the core of your performance engine, and keeping it fueled is absolutely essential for a long, strong, and vital life. We've covered the shield, the spark plug, and the engine. Vitamin D, vitamin B12, and magnesium. These three are the absolute power trio for men over 60, directly addressing the most common and impactful deficiencies that systematically rob you of your vitality. But now we come to the most important part of our conversation. This is the one thing I promised you at the beginning, the critical action step that separates lasting success from frustrating failure. Because knowledge without the right action is completely useless. You can know all of this, but if you apply it incorrectly, you'll be wasting your time, your hard-earned money, and your precious hope. Here is the secret, the linchpin that holds it all together. This is not about going to the drugstore or ordering supplements online and blindly buying these three things. It is absolutely not about guessing what you might need. The single most important step you must take is to move from a place of assumption to a place of absolute certainty. You must get your own personal blueprint, and you get that blueprint through one simple, powerful, and non-negotiable action: getting your blood tested. Before you spend a single dollar, you need to go to your doctor and ask for a specific blood panel. Ask them to test your vitamin D, specifically the 25-hydroxyvitamin D test, your vitamin B12, and your red blood cell, RBC, magnesium levels. The RBC magnesium test is particularly important because a standard serum test can be misleading. Your body will pull magnesium from your cells and bones to keep blood levels stable, hiding a cellular deficiency. Why is this so profoundly critical? Because you are unique. Your genetics, your diet, your lifestyle, your current health status, your absorption rates, they are all completely specific to you. You might be severely deficient in vitamin D but have perfectly adequate B12 levels. You might need a high therapeutic dose of magnesium but only a small maintenance dose of vitamin D. Without the hard data from a blood test, you are flying blind in a storm. You're just guessing. And guessing is a terrible strategy when it comes to your health and your finances. A blood test turns the lights on in the cockpit. It gives you a precise, objective map of your current internal status. It tells you exactly where your deficiencies are and, just as importantly, how severe they are. This data is your power. You take this personal blueprint to your doctor, and together you create a targeted, intelligent supplementation strategy. It's like the difference between buying a suit off the rack and having one perfectly tailored to your exact measurements. Your doctor can recommend the appropriate forms, like D3, methylcobalamin B12, or magnesium glycinate, and crucially, the correct dosages for you based on your specific results. This is the difference between firing a shotgun in the dark, hoping to hit something, and using a laser-guided missile to hit a precise target. It's strategic, it's personalized, it's effective. It eliminates the risk of taking too much of something, which can be harmful, or taking too little, which is just a complete waste of money. It puts you in the driver's seat of your own health, armed with concrete, undeniable information. This data-driven approach does two transformative things. First, it ensures your safety and maximizes effectiveness. You're not just following generic advice from a video on the internet. You're following a precise plan tailored to your body's exact needs, under the guidance and supervision of a medical professional. This is the responsible, mature way to take charge of your health. Second, it gives you a baseline for measurement. After 3 to 6 months of following your personalized protocol, you can test again. You can see the numbers change on the paper. You can objectively see your vitamin D levels rise into the optimal range, your B12 normalize, your magnesium improve. And then you will connect that objective data on the page to the subjective feeling of vitality in your body. This is an incredibly empowering feedback loop. It proves to you that your actions are having a real, measurable impact. This builds momentum and commitment like nothing else. So please, hear me on this. Do not skip this step. The temptation is to feel a burst of inspiration and just run out and buy the supplements we've talked about today. I understand that urge for immediate action, but that is the old way of thinking. The new way, the intelligent way, is to test, not guess. It is to invest in creating your own personal health blueprint first. This is the ultimate act of self-respect. It's acknowledging that your health is your single greatest asset and that it deserves a professional, data-driven approach, not a gamble. This is how you make a true investment in your future, not just another hopeful purchase. This is your call to action. Schedule the appointment with your doctor. Have the conversation. Be proactive. Get the test done. Get your blueprint. This single act of gathering information is the foundation upon which everything else we've discussed is built. It's the true starting point for a new chapter of your life, a chapter defined by energy, clarity, and strength. It takes the power out of the hands of chance and puts it firmly and rightfully back into yours. That is the real secret to success. It's not just about the vitamins. It's about the strategy you use to implement them. This isn't about desperately trying to turn back the clock. It's about having the energy and health to fully enjoy the time you have. It's about winding the clock up so it runs strong and true for the next chapter. Your health is your wealth, And investing in it wisely now gives you the priceless freedom to live your coming years with strength, with purpose, and with passion. You have earned this vitality. Now it's time to go and strategically claim it.